Jingliu is finally here for her first rerun on the game, and I know a lot of players were anticipating her release since she was considered the best DPS of the game for a while already. As a Jingliu haver and kinda simp since her release, I'm going to tell you if you still need her and if she's worth all your saved wishes. Just before the video starts, don't forget to leave your like and your sub, especially if you were waiting for Jingliu forever. 95% of you are not subscribed, and seeing that number getting lower and lower every day motivates me even more. So join us and help us reducing it even more. All my links are on the description for those who are curious, and for those who want to support me even more, you can always become a member. So without any furthers, let's talk about Jingliu's kit. Jingliu is a 5-star ice character that follows the path of destruction, and it's focused on being a DPS based on her enhanced skill. On her basic attack, Lucent Moonglow deals ice damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single enemy. When you use her skill, Transcendent Flash, Jingliu deals ice damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single enemy and obtains 1 stack of CZG. When you use her enhanced skill, Moon on Glacier River, Jingliu deals ice damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single enemy and deals ice damage equal to a smaller percentage of her attack to adjacent enemies, and consumes 1 stack of CZG instead of normal skill point. On her ultimate, Lord of Ephemeral Dream Flux, Jingliu deals ice damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single enemy, and deals ice damage equal to a smaller percentage of her attack to any adjacent enemies, and will gain 1 stack of CZG after the attack ends. On her talent, Crescent Transmigration, when Jingliu has 2 stacks of CZG, she enters the new state where her action advances by 100% and her crit rate increases by a percentage. Her skill will be enhanced, and only this enhanced skill is available for you to use in battle. When Jingliu uses an attack, she consumes HP from all other allies equal to 4% of their respective max HP. Her attack increases by 540 of the total HP consumed for all allies in this attack, capped at a percentage of her base attack, lasting until the current attack ends. Jingliu cannot enter the state again until the currently state ends. CZG can stack up to 3 times, and when CZG stacks become 0, Jingliu will exit this state. And for last, on her technique, Shine of Truth, Jingliu creates a dimension around her that lasts for 20 seconds, and all enemies in this dimension becomes frozen. After entering combat with enemies in the dimension, Jingliu immediately regenerates 15 energy and obtains 1 stack of CZG, with a 100% base chance of freezing the enemy targets for 1 turn. While frozen, enemy's targets cannot take action and receive ice additional damage equal to 80% of Jingliu's attack at the start of every turn, and only 1 dimension created by allies can exist at the same time. On her minor traces, Jingliu will get a total of 37.3 crit damage and 9 speed, helping with her damage and turns, and it will also get 10% HP to help her with survivability even more. On her first major trace, That Realm, while in the Spectral Transmigration state, increases effect res by 35%. This may seem dumb for some of you, but trust me, you don't want your totally buffed Jingliu killing your teammates with her enhanced skill. On her second major trace, Sword Champion, after using her skill, the next action will be advanced forward by 10%. And for last, on her third major trace, Prostrate, while in the Spectral Transmigration state, increases ultimate damage by 20%. For her trace priorities, you should focus on your skill first because that's where most of your damage is, then your burst for extra damage, then your talent because of the free crit rate it provides, and for last, your basic attack, which you can leave at level 1 since you will never use it. Now let's talk about the best relics and planetary ornament sets you could use for your Jingliu. Our best in slot will be Hunter of Glacial Forest, because on the 2-piece, your ice damage is increased by 10%, and on the 4-piece, after you use your ultimate, you will get 25% crit damage for 2 turns. This set, besides buffing your damage in general, it also helps you with stats for your Jingliu. Another set that most people consider the best option for Jingliu is Genius of Brilliant Stars. On the 2-piece, your quantum damage will be increased by 10%, something that Jingliu will not take advantage of, but on the 4-piece, you will ignore 10% of the enemy's defense when attack them and 10% extra if they are weak to quantum. Even though the 2-piece is useless, having a total of 20% defense ignore seems super good compared to only 25% crit damage when you use your ultimate. That's why most players consider this set the best option for Jingliu. And another niche option will be Longevous Disciple. The 2-piece will increase your max HP by 12%, something Jingliu doesn't care that much, but on the 4-piece, your crit rate will be increased by 8% every time the user is hit, consumes HP, or an ally does that for them, and can stack up to 2 times. And since Jingliu consumes everyone's HP when she's on her state, this would give your Jingliu extra 16% crit rate over the one you get from her talent already. For last, while you farm for a preferable option, you can always mix and match sets that provide attack percent and ice damage bonus. For planetary ornaments, she has some sets you can use with her. For her best planner set, you will want Rutland Arena, which will increase your crit rate by 8%, and when your current crit rate reaches 70% or higher, your basic attack and skill damage will be increased by 20%. This set is for sure the best one out there for her, and since she gains a lot of crit rate over her talent, you will just need some crit rate stats to achieve this. Sigonia, the Unclaimed Desolation, is also a good new option for Jingliu. You will get 4 crit rates straight up, and every time an enemy is defeated, you will get 4% crit damage, stacking up to 10 times. It's worth mentioning that you don't need to be the one killing the enemies, so if they just die because someone killed them, you will also get the crit damage. Even though this set is mostly made for pure fiction, this set can work on Jingliu since she has a lot of strong blast attacks on her kit, making it a good option when you are fighting bosses with minion or smaller enemies. Another good alternative is Izumu Gensei and Takama Divine Realm, especially if she's paired with Blade, for example, since this set provides 12% attack and 12% crit rate if you have at least one character from the same path in your team. And for last, if you are still on early game, Space Stealing Station will be the best option until you get Rootland Arena. And no matter what set you have chose, Rootland Arena will always be better over all the other options I mentioned. Now that we know the best sets, let's talk about the best stats. For the chest, crit damage, since Jingliu will get a lot of crit rate from her planner set and talent. For the boots, speed or attack. It will mostly depend on the team comp you play with her, but speed will normally be better since Jingliu gets so many attack from her talent. For the sphere, ice damage, and for the rope, attack percent. For the subsets, you should focus on crit damage, crit rate, speed, and attack. For Jingliu Lightcones, her best in slot will be her signature Lightcone, I Shall Be My Own Sword, which increases the wearer's crit damage by a percentage, and when an ally excluding the wearer gets attack or loses HP, the wearer gains 1 stack of Eclipse, up to a max of 3 stacks. Each stack of Eclipse increases the damage of the wearer's next attack by a percentage. When 3 stacks are reached, additionally enables the attack to ignore a percentage of the enemy's defense. This effect will be removed after the wearer uses an attack. This Lightcone perfectly synergizes with her kit, since Jingliu will gain the 3 stacks every time she attacks from stealing teammates' HP. On the fall of a Neon can be considered both her best second choice and also the best F2P Lightcone for her, because it will give you a lot of attack every time you attack an enemy up to 4 times, while increasing your damage when you weakness break an enemy for 2 turns. Since this Lightcone can be superimposed for free just by playing the simulated universe, you will get a good amount of attack percent, while also getting a good damage boost from it. Another 5-star option that can be used by Jingliu is Clara's Signature, something irreplaceable, which increases your attack by 24%, and when you defeat an enemy or you are hit, immediately restores HP equals to 8% of your attack. At the same time, your damage is increased by 24% until the end of the next turn. This effect cannot stack and can only trigger 1 time per turn. Under the Blue Sky will be her best 4-star Lightcone, because it increases your attack by a percentage, and when the wearer defeats an enemy, the wearer's crit rate increases by a percentage for 3 turns. This Lightcone will alleviate the need of looking for crit rate in your build, since it will already provide you a good amount. Other 4-star options like Nowhere to Run, The Moles Welcome You, and The Secret Vow can be used as alternatives in case you don't have any other Lightcones, but still lose for the other Lightcones I mentioned. And for last, Collapsing Sky will be the best 3-star option if you are on early game, since it will increase your basic attack and skill damage by a percentage, and don't forget you can superimpose it relatively faster. So, it will be a decent weapon while you don't have any other Lightcone. For Jingliu teams, here are some examples. For an hyper carry team, pair her with Bronya, Pella or Ron Mei, and a Sustainer. For a duo DPS team, pair her with Blade, Ron Mei, and a Sustainer. For a super fast Jingliu, pair her with Bronya, Sparkle, and a Sustainer. And for an F2P team, pair her with Pella, Tingyun, and a Sustainer. Jingliu will work around the same base teams, just changing more the characters around it. But if you have any teams you like to use with her and that I forgot to mention, feel free to leave it on the comments for us to give it a look. I will show you a quick MOC showcase of my hyper carry team with Jingliu for you guys to have an idea of her gameplay.
Let's wait.
Show your courage, sound ringers.
Repent.
Eternal.
Let's settle this.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind. You'll pay for this. Blade of hand. All will be revealed. The lunar flame. There's more.
I'll see you off.
This battle may be your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Bridge them. Nowhere to run.
Receive divinity.
So this is the one with the flame. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Eternal slither. And return! You chose the wrong enemy.
You'll pay for that.
Nothing major.
This battle lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Stand. Later, all will be revealed in the lunar flame. Blade.
So, what's your opinion about Jingliu? Is she worth your pulls? In my opinion, she's one of the strongest DPS at E0, but after the release of so many DPS characters, I don't know if your account still needs her or not. If you want my honest opinion, I think she's a super valuable pull for your account, especially if you like her or you need someone to deal with those enemies with ice weakness. But you, what do you think about her? I hope you are now able to understand if she's worth for you to have on your account or not. Share this video with everyone you know that it's either going to pull for her or it's thinking about it, because who knows, maybe they change their mind. 95% of you are not subscribed, so please, it just takes some seconds of your life and that way you will be able to enjoy any future content I post here. It's a win-win. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me, and thank you so much for your company. Catch you guys on my next video. Stay safe everyone, and don't be frozen by Jingliu. See ya!